gonna hide. Popping pills, swilling, but it won't touch me. Only love around, that's how it's gonna be. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. In the city lights where dreams collide, we hustle through the night, fire in our stride. Whispers in the dark can't dim my glow. With rhythm in my soul, I'm ready for the show. We break the chains, rewrite the rules in this concrete jungle where nobody's fools. Unity sings louder than the lies they scheme. In the heart of the struggle, we dare to dream. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track.
Another Queen Ahmadiyyah production.
Haze on the corner, they talking real loud. Spreading no light, trying to bring me down. Enemies lurking, but I won't back away. Got a vision in my mind, I'm here to stay. Put my crew beside me, we rise like a tide. When the storm gets rough, we ain't gonna hide. Popping pills, swilling, but it won't touch me. Only love around, that's how it's gonna be. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. In the city lights where dreams collide, we hustle through the night, fire in our stride. Whispers in the dark can't dim my glow. With rhythm in my soul, I'm ready for the show. We break the chains, rewrite the rules in this concrete jungle where nobody's fools. Unity sings louder than the lies they scheme. In the heart of the struggle, we dare to dream. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. Haze on the corner, they talking real loud. Spreading no light, trying to bring me down. Enemies lurking, but I won't back away. Got a vision in my mind, I'm here to stay. Got my crew beside me, we rise like a tide. When the storm gets rough, we ain't gonna hide. Popping pills, swilling, but it won't touch me. Only love around, that's how it's gonna be. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. In the city lights where dreams collide, we hustle through the night, fire in our stride. Whispers in the dark can't dim my glow. With rhythm in my soul, I'm ready for the show. We break the chains, rewrite the rules in this concrete jungle where nobody's fools. Unity sings louder than the lies they scheme. In the heart of the struggle, we dare to dream.
All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Or shall I say welcome back? Okay, so we're here for part 2 of Diddy's trial. We are at day 13, and we're going to be getting back into the cross-examination of Maya, okay, or Mia, the fourth victim. Okay, so with that all being said, everybody please hit the like button. Please like and share. Thank you in advance. Now, before we get started, let's have a brief word from my sponsor at 12 Tribes, because I got to keep the lights on.
Do not buy 12 Tribes on Earth hair growth oil and hair magic elixir unless you want super healthy, gorgeous hair that grows. They have a whole line of amazing hair growth products, including hair growth leave-in conditioner spray, hair growth shampoo, hair growth spray, and hair growth butter. I'm starting to sense a theme here. They include quality natural ingredients. They smell amazing, and you can see the results for yourself. So if you're looking for healthy hair growth for your natural or relaxed hair, try 12 Tribes on Earth today.
All right, so don't forget you can purchase 12 Tribes hair oil at Etsy.com. Just look for Lisa Crafts. You can also find it at Walmart.com. Okay, so there are no updates, surprisingly, from Inner City Press or CNN. It just says that they went to lunch an hour and 3 minutes ago. Okay, so clearly they're not back yet. See, that's why I'll be starting a few minutes later than they're supposed to be scheduled to get back. Okay, so with that all being said, let's just read some of the updates that have been posted in the media. We'll go to New York Post. Diddy trial live updates, alleged victim Mia continuing testimony after recounting grape violence in brutal detail. So Sean Diddy Combs' ex-assistant Mia recounted for the jury in heart-wrenching detail Thursday the numerous times that she says the hip-hop mogul assaulted her. Now, she was on the stand for several hours. She was sobbing as she testified anonymously under a pseudonym. She divulged how she felt controlled and manipulated by the powerful mogul who was prone to violent rages. Now, he faces life in prison if convicted. The trial is not televised because cameras are prohibited. We already know all that. I wish it was televised, honey. We'd really be locked in. Okay, so anyway, I'm not going to get into all this because they're talking about stuff we already talked about. Okay, so much for that. Let's go back to, do y'all want to finish listening to Suge Knight? Do you all want to finish listening to Suge Knight? Because he supposedly said that Diddy would be happier in jail. First of all, how does that make sense? Who would be happier in prison? Okay, please sit down somewhere, Suge. And then here's an article I found about Suge. He said that Diddy needs to get on the stand and testify. Now, that's the worst advice ever. Didn't I already tell you all that would be a travesty for Diddy's silly self, even though he did say that he wanted to? Suge says he needs to get up there and take the stand to humanize himself. Okay, imprisoned former rap mogul Marion Suge Knight, who for decades shared an acrimonious relationship with Sean Diddy Combs, urged the longtime arch rival to take the stand in his ongoing trial. Speaking to CNN's Laura Coates in a brief phone interview from prison. Oh, wait a minute. Let me see if we have this. Hold on. Okay, I don't have time for this to load. It's taking too darn long. And besides, it looks like it's only 33 seconds, honey. I guess they didn't want to waste too much of their coins on his prison call. But anyway, I digress. So anyway, it says that he's serving a 28-year sentence for a deadly hit and run in 2015. And he has believed that Combs should humanize himself, saying that I feel if he do tell his truth, he really would walk. If Puffy goes up there and says, hey, I did all the rugs with a D. I wasn't in control of my life at the time or myself. Then he can humanize his old self and the jury might give him a shot. Suge Knight, you sound like a darn fool. Do y'all hear this? Do you all hear this man talking about he goes up there and tells his truth? First of all, we all know that if Diddy goes up there and tells the truth, he's going to be under the jail. Okay? Okay, Niecy said Suge needs to have several seats. Exactly, honey, in an empty stadium, please. But me continue. So then goes on to say, Suge's trying to set Diddy up, honey, so Diddy lands right in there beside him, honey. Okay, don't let him fool you. So he goes on to say the jury might give him a shot. Yeah, a shot of that cocktail that they give you when you're on death row. That's the only shot they'll give him. Okay, he says, but if they keep him sitting down, it's like he's scared to face the music. He should just have faith, have his faith in God. Put up his pants and go up there and tell his truth. Suge, is that what you did when you were on trial, honey? Okay, while you sit up here giving all advice to Diddy, did you do that when you were on trial, sir? Did you pull up your pants and go up there upon the stand and raise your hand and swear to tell the truth and nothing but? Okay, sit down somewhere, honey. This man sounds crazy. And first of all, I have to be mad at CNN for even asking this idiot for legal advice. For even daring to ask a cold-blooded killer. Do you all see the irony of it all? And I find it all so interesting that we could see YouTubers doing it because, we're trying to create content. So a lot of times people will talk to people that are trending, even though they aren't ish, okay? But I try not to do it myself, personally. But some people do. They got to make their coins, I guess, however they see fit. But you mean to tell me a well-known publication such as CNN and Piers Morgan, by the way, even though I don't care for Piers Morgan, but I'm just saying, they're out here reaching out to Suge Knight, a cold-blooded killer. Okay? They think this is something? Honey, let me tell you something. This is all crazy. I guess this is the world we live in now, honey. You got gangsters and mobsters on YouTube. You got people in the media calling thugs in prison who committed whole murder, asking them for legal advice. This is all crazy, but let me continue. Anyway, goes on to say that, and then he had the nerve to mention God. He should just have his faith in God and put his pants up and go up there and tell his truth. Combs has pleaded not guilty to charges that include racketeering, conspiracy, trafficking, and transportation to engage in prostitution with a P. Now, if convicted on all counts, he could face up to life in prison. It's not clear whether Combs will testify at his trial. Taking the stand can be seen as risky for defendants because it can open them up to a brutal or bruising cross-examination, according to experts. Well, of course. Okay, now Benjamin Chu, the co-lead counsel for actor Johnny Depp in his defamation trial, told CNN earlier this week that the standard wisdom is for defendants not to testify, but added that it may benefit Combs to defend himself and express remorse over the allegations that have been brought up during the prosecution's case. Honey, the last thing Diddy needs to do is get up there and try to show remorse, honey, because we know he doesn't have any. Now, Knight, the co-founder of Death Row Records, was best known in the 1990s for helping promote West Coast rap in a field. You know what? I'm telling y'all how Diddy can get out. I know exactly how Diddy can get out. Y'all want me to tell you? I'm going to tell you anyway. All Diddy has to do is get up there on the stand, like Suge said, and put his head on the Bible. Now, I want y'all to listen close. Follow me. And I'm very serious about this, not even joking. Diddy needs to get up there, say he's going to testify on his own behalf. Get up there. You know when you place your hand on the Bible and swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but. As soon as the devil, because that's exactly who Diddy is, as soon as the damn devil puts his hand on that Bible, the Bible is going to burst into flames. And then once he sits down in that seat, honey, his demons are going to all manifest and start showing themselves individually. Okay? He's going to start acting like the Exorcist, honey. And only then will he get off, because at that point, everybody will know that clearly his demons have taken over control. Okay? They're going to have to call in a priest, a nun, and anybody else with religious and experience in performing exorcism to cast out all of his demons, all 72, because that's about how many he has. Because according to that secret source that told me he was conjuring up, he conjured up about 72 of them with the lesser key of Solomon. Okay, so if he get up there and do that, rid himself of his demons, mind you, they're going to have to clear the court immediately, because once he frees himself of the demons, then the demons will have to look for other people to possess. So anybody close by might be in trouble. It's all I'm saying. If he did that, then maybe they would have some mercy upon his soul, honey, okay? Get up there and get redeemed, okay? Have a preacher come in with a tub of water, like that little blow-up pool they used to put all that baby oil in, remember? And he used to dunk cats in it for the freakouts. When, you remember that little blow-up pool they said he had, a little kiddie pool the cats was talking about? They had all them bottles of baby oil they pour in there and get them all greased up and everything. They need to bring in one of those, put some warm water in it, lukewarm, and then have a pastor come in and dunk Diddy down in it before everybody in the jury, honey. Okay? That might give him get him about 10 years off. They're not going to let him go, but they at least might get him about 10 years off, okay? Baptize his arse. Okay? But anyway, let me continue. Quite frankly, Diddy reminds me of that nefarious vampire named Remy on Sinners. I'm not even joking. But let me continue. So anyway, Diddy, you're not getting out ever. That's just the facts. Okay, Diddy is going down for the counts. Okay, Diddy's going to be, let me tell you how this is all going to work. Diddy's going to be convicted. His team is immediately going to file for an appeal. But y'all know what? Diddy's never coming out of prison. Okay, he's never coming out. All right, unless he's in a body bag. And that's on box. Seriously, Diddy's going to turn up like Epstein, okay? As soon as they file for that appeal. Y'all know Sloan Bella. Remember Sloan Bella told us that Diddy's mouth was going to be sewn shut by April? Y'all remember Sloan Bella said that? She said his mouth was going to be sewn shut by April, and he wasn't going to be able to say anything. Now, April has come and gone. Sloan Bella, what were you talking about? I have several questions. But anyway, it goes on to say, they talk about how Suge Knight was best known for Death Row Records in the 1990s for helping promote West Coast rap in a field that had long been dominated by East Coast artists. It was during this time that his rivalry with Combs ratcheted up. No, they didn't say ratcheted up, with their respective labels fighting for dominance and the two groups trading public insults and diss tracks. The feud reached its peak when Tupac Shakur and Christopher Wallace, also known as Notorious B.I.G., were shot and killed within months of each other. Knight was driving the car in which Shakur was killed in Las Vegas in 1996. Yeah, where he used him as a human shield, but let me continue. Knight has resurfaced in headlines in recent weeks during Combs' trial as several former staffers employed by Combs mentioned the men's rivalry. one of Combs' former personal assistants, Capricorn Clark, said Combs once brought her to Central Park at night and brought up her former employment. This is interesting with Death Row Records. You all remember that? See, this is the thing. I wouldn't have even wanted to work for Diddy after I worked for Suge. And if I did, I would have definitely told him that up front. I would have been worried that if he found out, you know, he'd be upset or whatever. But not, I would never have thought that he would be as upset as they claim that he gets. Okay, so anyway, David James, another former assistant, recalled an instance when he and Combs' security guard ran into Suge Knight at a diner. When Combs heard about it, he ordered James to drive them back to the diner, bringing 3 handguns with him. Did he think that was going to be shootout at the OK Corral? I mean, what was his point? But Knight had left by the time they arrived. Knight was sentenced to prison in 2018 after pleading no contest to manslaughter in the death of a man he was accused of hitting with his truck on the set of the movie, Straight Outta Compton. This is all crazy. Aubrey said, I don't believe Diddy has any tapes on anyone unless the people were having freak-offs with Cassie. Honey, let me tell you something, beloved. One thing about it is these people keep tapes. Okay, didn't you all see? I don't know if you was following my channel at the time, honey, but like I keep telling people, when Jeffrey Epstein was arrested, we literally I showed the footage of them taking boxes of recordings out of Epstein's house. A lot of the stuff that Diddy is accused of, he learned some of that stuff from Jeffrey Epstein and other people whose names I won't mention because they haven't been convicted of anything and I don't want any lawsuits. But a private source told me a lot. But I will say this. Jeffrey Epstein, Diddy had ties to Jeffrey Epstein. Okay, remember I told y'all, you heard it here first because I was the first one to bring up the fact of the Diddy and Epstein connection. Okay. Now everybody's talking about Whitney Webb finds the key to Jeffrey Epstein and Diddy. I told y'all that a year and a half ago before I even heard of that lady. But, you know, anyway, I digress. But the bottom line is Jeffrey Epstein and Diddy were all in the same circle. Okay, Ronald Burkle, who's alleged Diddy's sugar daddy, all right, his phone number was in Jeffrey Epstein's black book. Okay, amongst other things. And they carried boxes and boxes of videotapes out of there. What do you think Jeffrey was doing with those videotapes? You see, those videotapes have never been brought forward. They never really talked about them. After that, we didn't hear anything else about it. Okay, we never found out who exactly was on the real Epstein list. They told us they were going to put out the receipts, and all they put out were court transcripts. Okay, 900 pages of court transcripts. Nothing about the people that were actually involved. If Jeffrey Epstein was involved in human trafficking, okay, who were his clients? None of those people have ever been prosecuted. I want y'all to think about some of this stuff, honey. Yeah, I think Diddy absolutely has tapes. Please. Just like Jeffrey Epstein had tapes. This is what these people do. Do you all think that they engage in such debauchery and don't record it? I'm not talking about the freak-offs. The freak-offs was something that Diddy and Cassie did. I'm talking about the other stuff they did, like they tried to show you subliminally. Okay, Stanley Kubrick tried to show you subliminally before he died, not too long after, in the movie Eyes Wide Shut. Or like the other movie that I keep telling you all about, who the director also died mysteriously a couple of months later, 120 Days of Solo. They record this stuff because they're freaks. And they want to relive the memories over and over again. And they also want to blackmail people. It's called sexual blackmail. It's a common thing in Hollywood and the music industry. That's just facts. Okay, so anyway, DJ Big Six at Queen been putting dolls together. Thank you, beloved. That's right, because I told y'all in 2021, Diddy was going to be exposed by Cassie, me and Odd Negroes official. Okay, so anyway, that all being said. Let me see. No updates yet. Okay, here we go. 4 minutes ago. Oh, okay, so here is Matthew Russell. I'm going to share my screen because Matthew put us up another video. Skeletor fan said, and Phyllis Hyman, I think she got taken out. Oh, you know what? I need to do something on her. I loved me some Phyllis Hyman. I met her when I was 17 years old. And yes, I think she was taken out too. Okay, so let me share my screen so we can see this video. Here we go.
Okay, here we are, Matthew Russell Lee, Inner City Press. We're about midway through day 13 of U.S. versus Sean Combs here in the Southern District of New York courthouse. And Mia is still on the stand. The direct was finished, and we moved to the cross-examination. It's by Brian Steele, the lawyer brought in by the Combs team from his young thug victory in Georgia. He's basically, at least thus far, and this is the lunch break, so he could have other approaches, but he began right in with a series of social media posts by Mia, vintage 2013, 2015, and saying, you know, you just testified that Sean Combs sexually assaulted you and traumatized you, but here you are posting about Ciroc and about tequila and about Muhammad Ali and how great your mentor, Sean Combs, was. How is it consistent? And she stayed very cool. She's obviously been thought this through. She said, I was trying to emphasize the good parts to my friends and family. He kept hammering, how is it even possible? He said, 4 years after the anniversary of the sexual assault, here you are, posting these gushing Instagram posts. Now, it is true. It makes you, this is the era of social media, or it's even more so now, but it was then. I think that the prosecution tried to take this. They said, you stayed working. Why did you say, I love you in various text messages? They didn't get into the social media, and I wonder if they chose not to. They must have known this was coming. It's a gamble. How will the jury see it? How will the jury see this use of this incongruity between the testimony and the social media posts at the time? They're all corporate promotions. They're all promoting a vodka brand or Funny or Die. But that's where it stands. It looks like, I don't know. I don't think this is going to go all day. He said he only had an hour and a half or 2 hours, and he's already spent about an hour of it. Maybe it's just going to be another hour of social media posts. Then we'll see if the government has more witnesses. Mia did say, you're going to have to either ask my therapist, which wasn't going to happen, obviously, privilege, or you're going to have to hear it from an expert. So I assume that the government is going to have, people, it may well be in the motion to eliminate, another expert. They had Dawn Hughes, I guess, about Cassie and not leaving. They're going to need one about these gushing social media posts, apparently, or they may have one. In any event, we're going back in. Sooner than you know, there'll be Inner City Press, Diddy on Trial Week 3, the ebook and the audiobook, because there are a lot of things flying around out there. I like to verify, and it has some things beyond the threads, but it'll be coming soon on Google Play. You can check it out. But we're going back in. It's nice and sunny outside, and it's pretty dark inside. If this is the last vlog of the week, have a good weekend, and we'll remain on the case.
All right. So again, shout out to Matthew. He's putting in work. He's out there, boots on the ground. All right. So thanks to him, we get a lot of updates. Okay. Listen, I'm sure it's not always easy, because if you're inside the court and then you have to come out and, post a video, or you have to just text things or whatever on Twitter and all of that just to keep us informed and updated. Shout out to him for that. Okay. Now, with that all being said, 8 minutes ago, he posted, when did the defense see it? This is what the judge is asking. And then Shapiro, who is Diddy's attorney, Alexandra Shapiro, says yesterday, the judge said, when was it marked? At 1750? Shapiro says, I don't know. The judge says the video is precluded. After the number of social media posts the defense has used, it is cumulative. The defense's theory, dubious. Oh, well, I guess the judge told them. I guess the judge told them, because clearly what's going on here is it sounds like that the jury is wanting to use some sort of video, probably something that may be incriminating to Mia, or something that will make her story look lackluster or put some holes in it maybe. But the judge is like, y'all already doing too much. Y'all already pulled up the lady's whole social media post. That's enough right there. Okay, so anyway, still says, can I ask if she sent it? The judge says yes. Still says, I'm going to ask about scrapbooks. The prosecutor and I have a disagreement. I have 3 copies, one for the jurors to pass around. The honorable prosecutor and I disagree. Now, you know, Brian Steele is clearly throwing shade because he did not say the honorable prosecutor. Okay, not the honorable prosecutor and I disagree. Now, what he's saying is basically the prosecutor's trying to act like they're running stuff. Okay, because it's only the judge is honorable in the courtroom. So I caught that shade real quick. Okay, so anyway, it's about to go down apparently because they're having discrepancies. So anyway, that's it for them. So let me check and see what CNN has. I wonder what video they want to show, honey, and why the judge won't let them. I bet it was juicy too. So let's go over and see what they have with CNN. Okay, CNN 3 minutes ago. Judge Aaron Subramanian has precluded the jury after watching the happy birthday video. Didn't I tell y'all? Now, what's on this video? He said the relevance and the probative value of the video is minimal, and also said it's precluded because of the defense's failure to turn it over sooner to the government. God dang it, defendants, why are y'all hooking up? I'm nosy. I want to know what this video was all about. He said defense attorney Brian Steele can still ask Mia about the video. Okay, so then 1 minute ago, Mia is back on the stand and the jury is back in the courtroom. Defense attorney Brian Steele is continuing his cross-examination of Mia, a former employee of Sean Diddy Combs, who is testifying under pseudonym. And let me just say this. Now I'm going to tell y'all what my friend told me on the break. My source told me that, quite frankly, when Steele, see, I told y'all Steele knows what he's doing. Okay, I want y'all to listen. I want y'all to pay attention because I told you guys that Brian Steele was going to have at least half of the jurors looking at Mia with a whole side eye. Didn't I say it? My friend told me during the break that as soon as he started trying to poke holes in her story and saying stuff like, well, didn't you, post this and that or whatever, and didn't you say this and that, but he did this to you, yes? Now, didn't I tell y'all, first of all, my question was, why didn't the prosecution's team object, okay, and say, Your Honor, he's leading the witness? Because you see, you usually lead the witness that's on your side. That's what people usually tend to do because they want to try to get them to say what they need them to say. But every now and then you get somebody crafty, real slick, like Brian Steele, and they'll lead the prosecution. They'll lead the other side's witness, okay, to try to get them to say what they need them to say. And he did it so slick that I don't even think the prosecution even noticed. But I caught it real quick. So, but here's the thing. My friend says that when he started poking holes or trying to, make the inference that, basically, or trying to imply that basically she said Diddy did all these nefarious things to her, raped her, beat her, threw stuff at her, whatever, but you still talk about you love him, you still posting all this nice stuff about him on social media. Honey, they told me that it was some jurors that was looking at her with a whole side eye. So they were sitting there shaking their heads. I'm just telling y'all what they said. But see, I told y'all, and just remember, it only takes one. But Diddy, you going down regardless. But yeah, see, Diddy's defense is really good at doing stuff about that. Jones said the video is about Mia being happy at Diddy's birthday party after 4 years of her saying he essayed her. Okay, that's real crazy. Thank you, beloved. That's real crazy. Gwendolyn said they take all the Queen's talking points and her songs and use them as their own. Honey, some people sure do and don't even give me so much as a shout out, honey. But that's all good at the end of the day. They do say imitation is the best form of flattery. Okay. Now, with that being said, this just in from Inner City Press. Still says, this message from South Africa. You hashtagged this Diddy fan club. Mia says, yes, it was run by a girl who shamelessly promoted Puff. She was so sweet. Still says he supposedly rugged with a D and graped you on his birthday, November the 4th. How did you not mark that? Oh, honey, these questions are getting serious. He said, how did you not mark that? I'm waiting for her response. Okay, so nothing from CNN, honey. But let's get back. As we wait, let's get back into some of these videos. Do y'all want to still hear what Suge Knight is saying? Do y'all want to listen to Leon said you called it Queen. Thank you, beloved. Nicole said people are interested in the Queen's intelligence. Thank you, beloved. I hope so. And not to be trying to use my talking points as their own. Okay, so he's asking her, did you mark that? Did you not mark that? What does that mean? Did she not make a mental note of it? Did she not write it down or what? I'm just trying to figure out where he's going with this. Because it looks like he's trying to set her up for the downfall. Okay. Anyway, let me find us something to watch. I don't think anybody really. Oh, you know what? I'm tired of listening to Suge. Okay, can we just not listen to the rest of Suge or Pierce? How about this? So Cory Holcomb, y'all know I be going in on Cory Holcomb because he just is so rude and misogynistic in my opinion. But however, he was going in on Remy, and I agree with every word. Do y'all want to hear it? Because I'm gonna play it anyway, even if you don't. I saw this video last night, and shout out to Ghetto Talk because this is his video, and he has a clip of Cory Holcomb going in on Remy Ma and trying to give Pap advice. At the end of the day, y'all know her, honey. I'm always here for when anybody goes in on Remy Ma. Okay, please. For all you Remy apologists out there, you should be ashamed of yourselves. Y'all know she's a whole hater. Y'all know she's a whole hater out there mad, trying to act like she's giving Clarissa some advice. Girl, you 30 years old. You got your whole life ahead of you. Why are you messing with somebody who's 47 years old and broke? Girl, clearly for the same reason you were messing with him. How about that? Because he's a stand-up guy, and he has his woman's back. Okay? And he helps to accelerate your career. Okay? He adds to you. He pours into you, not takes from you. All right, girl, you know why she's with that man. The same reason you with him, and the same reason you're so mad, buttered, and bothered, and clearly pressed and been out of shape that you're no longer with him. You know what? I'm gonna tell y'all what this reminds me of. This is what I meant to tell you all the other day. This is what I meant to tell you guys the other day. You all remember that movie? I think it was that movie where Red Fox and Red Fox, Arsenio Hall, and Richard Pryor and Eddie Murphy. You all remember that movie? It was called Harlem Nights. Do y'all remember the white Italian guy who looked like a mobster? I think he was a mobster in the movie. Yeah, he was. But remember when he was all in love with Sunshine, Lela Rochon, and then he picked up the phone one day and called his wife, and he said, yeah, honey, yeah, I'm never coming home. Yeah, that's Papoose to Remy. Okay, that man ain't never coming back, Remy. You done upped up. All right, you done upped up. You said I ain't never coming home. That's Remy. Okay, and let her marinate on that while she's sitting up here trying to destroy happy relationships because she picked a whole scrub. See, let me tell y'all something. Let me give y'all a lesson in life, and some of y'all should already know this, especially if you're my age. Here's the thing. You know, these people be in relationships, and then, you know, they find out somebody's cheating, and then they stay with the person, and then they want to pay them back, and they start cheating. Well, at the end of the day, if you find out somebody's cheating and you can't deal with it or you're upset about it, just leave. Leave, because when you start doing what they're doing, that makes you just as bad as them. Now, I'm not specifically talking about Papoose and Remy. I'm just speaking in general. But to my point about Papoose and Remy, I'll say this. One thing about it is Remy is the typical person who goes out and ucks up their own relationship thinking the grass is greener on the other side. Okay? Then when they get found out and the other person that they've always used as a doormat, the person who's always been there for them and held them down, now they just think that person's supposed to be all kisses and smiles and forgive them and just keep it going. But no, at some point, people get tired. So this person now moves on and finds somebody else. And then this person who was cheating in the first place realizes that the grass is not greener and I didn't even damn upgrade. Now this mother sucker over here done got somebody better than me, younger than me, making more money than me, look just as good as me. And God dang it, this is all I got over here is a dusty. So, you know, that's why Remy's mad, just so you know. That's why she's mad. And anybody that's a Remy apologist, y'all know I'm telling the truth. Now, here's from a minute ago with CNN. The jury showed more photos Mia posted on social media for Sean Diddy Combs' birthday. Defense attorney Brian Steele asked Mia how she could post about his birthday without recognizing the significance as the time that he allegedly assaulted her for the first time. She says it was Puff's birthday party. That's what the date was. And I tried to forget that night and shove it down. I never wanted to think about it again. Honey, let me tell you something. How could you never think about it again when you still work for this man? Do you know how traumatizing that sounds like it should be? If somebody grates you and this is your boss and you still are working for them, I would think that every time you see them, every time you hear the sound of their voice, anytime that you have to be alone anywhere with them, I would absolutely think that you would remember what they did. How could you put it out of your mind when you see this person still on a regular basis? I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. Nicole said, before the money, Remy and Clarissa both look like papoose. I'm not going to say that. I think they're both nice looking young ladies. I mean, we all look better with makeup on. And some of y'all with y'all weaves and stuff. I think they're both attractive. That's just my opinion. Okay, so now with that all being said, let's go to Cory Holcomb going in, as he should. Okay, I give him all rights and privileges to go in on Remy at this point. She deserves every bit of it. Give it a smoke, Cory. Hold on, let me put up an overlay on this. And once again, shout out to Ghetto Talk, because this is his video.
Get the Africa post on. Hold up. And the only reason why, if any.
And this is something else I want to say to the Remy apologist. You know, just looking at how stupid and childish and immature she was acting, sticking out her tongue, talking about how she don't like his cologne, it don't smell good, but you loved it when you were with him. It was all so childish and just immature. Like, what 40-something-year-old woman acts like a damn fool like this? It's just embarrassing for me that she even acted so damn stupid. I would just roll it back so y'all can see the foolishness all over again, because I know I already showed y'all this. But we're going to look at it again, just for the ones that tried to make excuses for this dumb arse black woman, making a mockery of black women in general.
Her for all she doing to you, bro. She putting your business out there.
I scroll back to when you was in Africa and people was wishing they got their shots. Should I scroll back to then? Let me scroll back to then. Play with me. Play with me. Play with me. And there was no shots to go to Africa. It was pills. How do I know? Because the text came to my phone, because he's still on my health insurance. He just didn't want you to go. That's all. So he could sit over there and call me every day about how being here just makes me think about everything. Don't play with me. Don't play with me.
Now, let me say this, and this is how you can tell that she's so jealous of their relationship, because the whole time she was on that video that day, if you all remember, all she kept doing was talking about papoose, you know, trying to make Clarissa think that basically he had lied to her. Yes, DJ Big Six, she's bitter. And you can tell. It's so easy to see that she's just scorned and mad and butthurt and jealous, because all she was saying was, oh, don't make me scroll back to the text that you sent me when you was in Africa. Do I need to cue the text? Oh, and he just didn't want you to go, talking about pills. You didn't need no shots. First of all, she's a damn fool, because you do need shots to go to Africa trick. You need shots and pills. That's how dumb she is. You need shots and pills. So sit down somewhere. But she was telling this girl all this because she was trying to cause problems in their relationship. Now, do you all see at any point Papoose trying to do her like that? Do you see him coming out saying, oh, yeah, I can show you some pictures. I can tell you this and that. You don't see him doing it. She is definitely hating on Clarissa. Okay? I mean, she is so mad. She can't stand it. And I love to see it, because I don't like women's hearts no more. She's a disrespectful, ungrateful bitch. Okay? And a garden tool as well.
Not yesterday. I was laid up yesterday. Was I not laid up? Were we not laid up? Oh. What? Ew. I don't even like the cologne you wear. It's gross. Ew.
I mean, how childish is that? Okay. How childish is that? But let me continue. Let me stopping the video.
Come on. And you got me blocked. Emotional. Weirdo. I'm really saying, oh, you a girl. You a girl. Look at him. Emotional. Stop playing with me, sir. Stop playing with me. Matter of fact, let me get the Africa post on cock. Hold up. And the only reason why, if anybody's wondering why is he still on my health insurance, because it's against the law in New Jersey while you're going through a divorce to take them off of your health insurance. So unfortunately, I can't. Let me get those ready. Send me shorty a number. I send it directly to her. I send you the whole video thing that I literally entertained just because I knew this day was gonna come. Weirdo.
You putting up business out there, but you the man, you stand to lose the most. Because, you know what I'm saying?
What happened?
Yeah.
It's low, but they heard you. I think they heard you.
Testing. Is it working?
There you go.
What I'm saying to you, my brother, is when you used to go visit that lady in jail, you knew it was extra. They quick to say, I'll beat you and your bitch ass. We know that ain't gonna happen.
How you doing?
No.
Well,
She not gonna talk crazy about
yeah.
the lady you around now, but the lady you around now is simply a blessing from God to help you during this transitional period. Whether you and her make it forever or not, just remember, she was around at this time and she actually being wise with not getting into it with that lady. It's like, that lady gonna talk about you, man. She gonna do everything to humiliate you. I promise you, leave it alone. Leave it alone. She not winning. When she on there, I'm laid up now. Right. That's desperate talk. She know you the only one in this world care that she laid up with somebody. But whoever she laid up with, that man need to realize. I see how she do people that do right by her.
Oh, you motherfuckers. Okay.
Or they put effort into it. So what I'm saying is, leave that alone, little bro. Don't get back on the internet talk about that lady no more. That lady who got your kids and all like that. Let her do what she gonna do, and that's how you gonna win. Because if she see you happy, it's gonna make her want to kill herself.
That crazy bitch out there again.
When them girls you used to be with see you happy, because I ain't knocking the lady Remy Ma altogether, but when I saw her with them pictures posted of the young boy, that's an old bitch trick. They go out with a young boy and basically mark him on the internet full of pictures of them together. Right. That's an old bitch trick. That ain't no shit that work on. Real niggas and bitches ain't looking at that like that's something that she doing. There's nothing she can say about you. You not with her, and you are with a phenom. She can't do that. She got to get somebody who is not popping like that, because ain't nobody popping finna tolerate that.
I mean, she's 44, man. Her best days are behind her, man. Unless Motown come calling and then they need a female temptation, because, you know, we on the 5th generation of temptations right now. She might be able to be a temptationist.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, I wanted to be realized, brother, you can't say nothing to her. She got your kids. You put effort into her. It didn't work. You got somebody else who happens to be somebody who can help.
But tell me, that's not a cult. He got to be mentally strong.
Why?
Because he in 2 back-to-back situations where he not the alpha.
Well, that's what you said, and I ain't gonna lie. There's evidence to show that.
Yeah, I'm not saying. I mean, look, even the fact that he feel like he got to physically display himself, like one of the dudes the dude she with, he knocked him out.
You got knocked the fuck out, man.
Well, you got to make sure you say who knocked who out.
I mean, Papoose. knocked dude out.
Yeah.
And he said he knocked him out because he shook his hand on a previous date, knowing he was sleeping with his wife.
Boy, ain't no way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy.
And I think in the normal world of men, that's okay what he did. I like Papoose. But when you got
I like him too. But
I like
you still can't knock everybody out.
Can't.
Sleeping with a hoe.
Do I smell a whore?
Because we already said on the show, that's our broad too. He can't knock me out.
When you ruminate
over that, please don't hit me over a hoe. I'll tell any man, if I'm f***ing a hoe, man, come on, man. You know this bitch f***ing everybody, man. How the f*** you mad at me? You gonna beat me up. Do you know how many people you had to fight? If you gonna fight everybody with a hoe?
I'm gonna
they say Pap gonna know he ain't gonna tell.
All right, I'm done with that because Cory's about to get into a whole lot of cursing. Okay? But at the end of the day, he's absolutely right. Like, Remy needs to sit down somewhere. She is a hoe, just like I told y'all. Please pay attention. Now, that all being said, let's get back to these updates because here they go. This is from Inner City Press. Okay. Last we left off is where Brian Stills doing the cross-exam and he was asking Mia if she wrote this. Hold on. Wait a minute. Is that where I was? Hold on, beloveds. Let me make sure this is the last one. Went to Africa, and then he said, did you write this? Oh, no. I didn't read this one yet. Okay, so let's start right here. Okay, so this is it. The last one was when she asked him, did you mark that? It was his birthday, November the 4th. Okay, so the next one says, Mia says, I wanted to forget it. I pushed it down. Still says, are you finished? She says, yes. Still says, you put aside, you say, you saw Mr. Combs abuse your sister, your best friend, Cassie. You put it aside and posted this. She says, yes. Mr. Still said, you wrote this. She says, Puff at iHeart. Okay, then Brian Still says, what are you doing here? And again, he shows her a picture or something. Mia's promoting Puff's appearance on Blackish. It's a comedy show, she says. Or Mia says that she was promoting Puff's appearance on Blackish, a comedy show. Still says, were you aware of the hashtag #MeToo movement? That was a great movement. She says, yes. He says, what about these? Then he shows her more photos. She says, me and Puff at Burning Man, then on Blackish. Still then says, you loved Miss Ventura. He's asking, you loved Miss Ventura? You meant every word on your social media account? She says, I didn't mean every word on my account, but I do love Cass. Still said, what's this? Shows her another picture, honey. And then she says, a pop-up shop for D-Rock's brand, Invisible Bully. Still says, you promoted Mr. Combs? She says, yes. Where is he going with this, honey? What is he up to? I can't wait to find out. Okay, now let me see what we have from CNN. This must be getting juicy, honey, because CNN, this isn't like them. They usually post back to back, like every 3 to 5 minutes, but they haven't posted in like 14 minutes. Last thing I have from them is when they were talking about the birthday. And she said she was trying to get it out of her mind. Okay, so this is interesting. So we'll wait for more updates. But so what do you all think about this? What do you all think about this line of questioning? Do you think that he's debunking anything or making her look like she may not be telling the whole truth? And then let's not forget that he brought up that lawsuit that her attorneys asked for $10 million. And then she ended up getting like $400,000. And then, by the time she paid her attorneys, I think she was left with like $200,000. So my friend did say that there were some looks from the jurors about that as well, because now it was looking like monetary for them, apparently. Said some of them had some strange looks upon their faces. What y'all think about it? Let me see here. Okay, so yeah, here goes an update right here. I'm gonna read about this. Is not really an update. This is something they posted while the jury was on break. Sean Diddy Combs' trial live updates. Defense hammers ex-assistant for post supporting Combs after alleged assaults. So they said the defense showed pictures of Mia at a party wishing Combs a happy birthday on what would have been the 6-year anniversary of the S assault that she testified he committed against her. Mia said that she just learned to shut it down for that moment, saying, I tried to protect that night and shut it down and not think about it. The defense made Mia read what she wrote about Combs on his birthday. Legend, rapper, actor, entrepreneur, and extraterrestrial was born. Happy B-Day. Thank you for showing me the path to Pluto and beyond. Okay, well, that's not something promoting him. That's something big up in him. And this is 6 years later, she was still working with him. So Judge Abraham dismissed the jurors for lunch. Okay, let me see what they got after this. They say there were some clearly good times during Mia's stint working for Combs, and his side of the table wants jurors to see it. Defense lawyers showed a video of Mia laughing in a comedy video with Rick Ross and images of her celebrating a birthday with Combs' son, Justin. In her direct testimony, Mia didn't deny there were some good times in Combs' world, but made it clear that the highs were more than offset by the lows. The defense questioned Mia on her social media posts with Combs and other communications with him, in which she said, love you, and praised him as a mentor and inspiration. She defended the post as showing the good parts of her life. When asked why she promoted the person who stole her happiness, she said, I had to support the things Puff supported. It was very confusing, ups and downs. The defense tried to call out contradictions in Mia's testimony where she said she was in constant fear of upsetting him, but would post about being his best friend, saying it's easy because the dynamic would shift. When things are good, I felt really safe. You almost forget about those things. Honey, how do you forget about somebody graping you, throwing a bowl of spaghetti at you and a lap? So honey, I don't know how you forget about that and just keep on going and working with this food. She later said it was psychological. I felt responsible for helping him. I felt bad for him. I don't know how to describe it. Well, clearly, it sounds to me like you love Diddy more than you love your damn self, honey, because I'm a damn if I'm going to sit up there and try to protect somebody who tried to take me out. Okay, you said that Diddy threatened your life. Now, I'm sorry, but if somebody threatens my life, the last thing I'm going to do is try to protect them. I wonder if all these people that work for Diddy, in fact, had Stockholm Syndrome, because that's what it sounds like. These people sound like they were all victims of Stockholm Syndrome. That's what it sounds like, honey. Did he have all these people brainwashed? What's really going on here? Because I can't even see it. Okay, this is not making any sense. Okay, so it had to be something psychological, like she said. And I would say, yeah, it's giving Stockholm Syndrome as far as I'm concerned. She did say that she suffered from severe complex PTSD following her employment with him. Okay. So anyway, all interesting. I'm still waiting for further updates. Let's find a video to watch while we wait. Here we go. Let's go to the Breakfast Club and see what Lauren LaRosa had to say. Okay, here we go. I'm going to share my screen.
On everything he said. Oh my God.
He ate them up and they couldn't poke holes.
Wow. One of those bombs for Dante. He's playing his game. You ain't gonna beat him in his own game.
Oh no, not at all. Not at all. Okay. But then we went into the direct testimony of a woman who was testifying by the name of Mia. Now this woman
Who is Mia? Do we know who she is? What she looks like?
So I know her titles and the time she was with Diddy and with Revolt Films, so I could have looked that up, but because of how, like, they wouldn't even allow you to sketch her on a notepad in the court. So
you couldn't see her?
No, I could see her, but I don't want to be the person that puts her real name out there if I did know it, is what I'm saying. So she's testifying under the name Mia, and Mia was a former personal assistant of Diddy, and she also was one of the leads of Revolt Films. So she would bring in films for him and do different TV projects and all that. And
Was she black or white? I'm just curious.
She, from what I could see, she was white.
Okay.
But I don't know if there's anything else mixed up in there.
Okay.
But she alleged that Diddy raped her several times. She says she actually went through about, I would say, 2 or 3 different alleged like sexual incidents, but she said that there was a ton more, and she alleges that she can't remember all of them because it was long ago, but also it was very traumatic. But she says that basically the first one happened, she alleges the first one happened because she used to stay in his houses a lot because her life was his life. It was very demanding. She was in one of his houses, and she alleges that Diddy came in, got into a lower bunk bed with her that she was staying in, and forced himself allegedly in her. And then that happened a couple more times. It was one time she alleges when she was like packing clothing for him in a closet of his, and then another time when she was on a private jet, allegedly when they were traveling, and she went to the bathroom, which was in like a back area where he stayed, and she alleges that he forced himself into the bathroom, but she couldn't remember the details of inside of the bathroom.
Do we know why she's the only one that's anonymous? How? Because why haven't they given her names? Everybody else's names they given, everybody else's face they allowed. How come she's not?
I do not know. I don't know that, but I do know that the whole like testify under a pseudonym thing, I've never seen it in real life, but it's so serious. I mean, like they brought up like her passport just to verify her identity within like the 2 legal teams and the jurors, and like they took at least 30 minutes making sure no cameras, people didn't have phones, because some attorneys are allowed to have phones, making sure everybody had their phones off. Like security got tight even in the overflow rooms. It was like a thing. I don't know what the difference is though, but you felt the difference though with the protection of her and some of the other witnesses, in my opinion.
Wonder why.
I'm not for sure, but she also talked
daughter, is she? You think she's somebody's daughter, like real big?
I'm not for sure. I mean, she talked about, you know, just being a normal person with a dream at like her early 20s, trying to work in entertainment, and she got this job with Diddy, and she had no idea, but she was being severely like overworked, and she was going through things that weren't normal. Like she alleges that she got her arm slammed in a door one time because she was very close with Cassie, because she allegedly would be the person that Diddy would send to go take care of Cassie when things would happen. And, you know, she's seen some of the physical abuse. But there was one time, I guess, where Diddy grabbed her phone allegedly, and they were having conversations back and forth, but then she'd also have conversations with some of the other staff who would make jokes about Diddy's moods and temperaments. And she was nervous. She didn't want him to see it. So she ran after him with the phone, and he allegedly slammed the door, and she thought it was a mistake. And then he allegedly did it again. Damn. She also says that she was pushed into a pool allegedly at one point. She's had things thrown at her, a ton of different things. She's seen a lot. She was able to have more conversation about some of the alleged Cassie beatings that we had heard Cassie talk about. From her point of view, she also alleged that she was one of the assistants that would have to go and set up the hotel nights. And all the assistants in their hotel nights recaps are spot on the same.
She must couldn't swim. If she's, you know, if she said she got pushed in the pool, she must really just couldn't swim, because that can be detrimental.
Especially when your boss allegedly is doing it.
Yeah, and you can't swim.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question, Lauren. You've been in the courtroom.
Yes.
Do you feel like the government can take a nap anytime soon?
Oh, the government could have went to sleep yesterday.
Yeah, I feel like the government can sleep very comfortably at this point.
Yeah.
It feels like they could rest this case. How has it been 3 weeks? Has it been 3? This is week 3 right here, right?
This is week
now, right?
3.
Next week is week 4, yeah.
Yeah, but then there was a whole week of the jury selection too, which I know doesn't count. But yes, I do think that could happen right now. And honestly, at the end of court yesterday, there was a conversation about, because the government had already said that they're probably going to be resting their case a bit early. And Diddy's team came yesterday and made it clear, like, even though the government can't find whatever witnesses they're trying to find, or they feel like they're resting their case early, we are not going to do that. We still have, you know, legally we have the right to respond to some of these things, and we plan to do so. So they said that they want to go the full period to July 4th.
Yeah, I mean, to me, if you've been paying attention to the court of law and not the court of public opinion, social media, I haven't heard the defense make a case for Diddy's innocence at all. I haven't heard the defense make a case, period. Like, the prosecution has been the power top, and Diddy's defense is the helpless bottom in this situation, it seems like.
You love top and bottoms, and then I get attacked when I throw you into that community. The bottoms don't like you. They said,
because I'm not one of them. They shouldn't like me.
They said
they
you look
see
like you
me and
don't
they see
clean
a
out
dominant power top.
They said you're not clean.
Who they heard that from?
Exactly.
They said booty hole brown. For real.
Exactly. They said you don't be cleaning right.
How would they know?
You tell us.
Anyway, back to the case.
But back to what I was saying, yes, I do think that the prosecution could rest at this point. Yesterday I was in a court and I was like, y'all, I don't even know why we have to still be here. I do think in the beginning, Diddy's team was doing really, really good at poking holes in different stories and, you know, opening in the beginning, like the first week of testimonies, I think that they did a good job of like making you think about things. But you know what I know happened? The more that the prosecutors brought on different different witnesses, and they painted different pictures and added different sides to stories, that's where it got tough.
I feel like Cassie laid a proper foundation. And then you brought in her mom, and you brought in Kid Cudi, and you brought in Capricorn Clark. I feel like at least 2 predicates in the RICO charge were proven just in those testimonies alone.
So let's break it down just quickly. So the racketeering conspiracy, right? They allege that Combs used his business empire and employees to engage in a pattern of illegal activity, sex trafficking, forced labor, and offenses. We've seen that allegedly,
yes,
right?
and Mia put a bow on that yesterday. She talked about everybody from HR allegedly being involved in the cover-ups.
Sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion. Have we seen that?
Well, that's what they've been painting this whole time with Cassie, allegedly, is like she's forced, she doesn't want to be there, and she's so scared because of the physical abuse that she receives that she doesn't have a choice.
But that's allegedly not with the sexual workers, so it's a little different, right?
But
he got 3 different charges though. He got the RICO, and then he got the sex trafficking,
and then the transportation to engage in prostitution. We seen that one.
Oh, he definitely was smuggling booty across state line.
There was one escort that testified that he traveled to different places.
That booty was traveling.
A booty smuggler is crazy.
Booty smuggling is crazy.
So from what you're saying, we've seen at least 2 to 3 of those.
Yes.
Then the kidnapping. And I'm listening. None of us are attorneys.
Right.
We're not attorneys, and nor are we jurors. And I think the biggest thing and the hardest thing for the jurors is going to be not leaning too much on emotion and sticking to fact. And it's going to be tough for them because I'm in there every day, and I feel like emotionally, yesterday I couldn't even talk about it because I didn't know how I felt emotionally, but factually I was like, man, I think that this case is over.
Yeah.
So
then you still got the celebrity of Diddy.
Oh my God.
Which will play a role.
Yesterday there was a whole free Diddy train a car protest outside. It is insane at the courthouse now. Yes. People are sitting in just to see it.
What is DraftKings and PrizePicks saying?
All right. So you guys heard that. So now let's get into it because she said there was a whole train of people out there, honey, with hashtag free Diddy items on. And I saw that video. I think I sent it to myself so I could show you all, honey. They was out there lined up on the streets. Hold on, let me see. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, they out there paying those people. I told you all weeks ago, they're out there paying those people $20 an hour. Okay, $20 an hour to wear free Diddy. Here it is right here. I knew I sent it to my email to show you all. Hold on. Hold on, beloveds. This is all a hot mess. Okay. Out there lining the streets for Diddy's nefarious arts. Mel said they paying them people to do that with Diddy shirts and stuff on. Yes. Be the Difference folks have paid actors. You already know. Honey, these people out here need their coins, honey. Some of these people are probably homeless. Don't forget. I mean, I can't hate on them, honey. I guess they have to do what they got to do. Some of y'all do shady-ish too. Don't even try it. Some of y'all know y'all be doing some shady stuff when nobody's looking, or at least when you think nobody's looking. Okay? That's what y'all be doing. Look, at stop the plane. I need to get off. Said I need $2K an hour. Okay? I know that's right, honey. Get your coins. Like I told y'all yesterday, honey, everybody has a price. Now, y'all can deny it all you want. I told you all yesterday that if Diddy had given me $50 million, cold, hard cash, I would have gladly walked up in that court and defended him and run everybody up out of there, okay? I'd have gone in on all the witnesses. And didn't you? Isn't it true? Don't even get me started with the Perry Mason antics again. Okay, so I'm about to share my screen. Here we go.
Diddy's coming. You gotta be on this side of the barrier, the other side. Oh my God.
They was just like, and then he was like, "Where I'm from."
Did y'all see the one lady sitting there with her little free Diddy shirt on, holding her jacket, looking forlorn? She probably was thinking, damn, I didn't know they was going to record us. I mean, I agreed to do it because I need the money, but damn. I hope they don't put this on social media. Well, sis, they put you on social media, okay? She looked like she was having buyer's remorse. Did y'all see her face? Cookie said, Queen, you need to stop your mess. I know I do, honey, but why stop now? I'm just getting started, honey. Please pay attention. Okay, I am just getting started, honey, with a mess. What are you talking about? Honey, I really got some mess for y'all next week. I want to tell y'all so bad, but honey, I can't. Okay, just hold your horses, people. Just hold your horses, because I have a big surprise coming for y'all's horses next week. Okay, Tree says, modern day Ike Turner times 20, Queen. Okay, that's what I said, honey. How about Bobby Brown and Whitney, beloved? Okay, thank you for your insight into the topic and your contribution to the channel. Peace, love, and blessings. You know I appreciate you. Honey, y'all are so nefarious. Are y'all in the chat talking trash about me? Why are y'all laughing at me? I didn't even tell a damn joke. What's going on here? Don't get me twisted now. Don't even get me twisted. Look at Ladybug saying short again. See, this is why y'all are messy as hell. See, this is exactly what I be talking about. But y'all want to sit up there and act like it's me. See, look how y'all keep up stuff. Short again, Queen. Short again. Yeah, right. Hold on. Did I delete it? If I can find it again, honey. I clicked off of it. But at the end of the day, the bottom line is these people are actually out here paying people $20 to wear these free Diddy shirts. Now, I wonder whose bright idea this was. And, you know, to be honest, it probably didn't even have anything to do with Diddy being behind it. Probably, you know who it probably was. I just have an idea. Now, I'm wondering, wait a minute. Now that I think about it, no, Diddy probably is behind it. Because you know what? It probably came from that guy that's his friend. Remember the one that they had the interview of on News Nation, who said that he's been friends with Diddy all these years, and he was the main one wearing the free puff t-shirts. Now everybody's wearing them for $20 a pop. Yeah, it was probably his whole idea, honey. He probably went and printed up a bunch of those shirts and then just started giving them out to people. I find it all so egregious. But if y'all want to see the video again, I'm gonna play it one more time, and then we got to get back to the scoop, because this is all getting real juicy. What is Brian still up to with this witness?
Diddy's coming. You gotta be on this side of the barrier, the other side.
Oh my God.
They was just like, and then he was like, "Where I'm from."
See that lady right there? That lady was looking sad as hell, y'all. That lady said, God damn it, I didn't know they was going to put this on the damn news. Where is this? Okay. Tree says, pray nobody harms his girls out of retaliation. I know, right? I hope not, honey. I feel bad for his daughters. All of his children, really, but specifically his daughters, honey. Okay. Thank you for your insight to the topic again, beloved, and your contribution to the channel. Peace, love, and blessings. Okay, so now let's see if we have any updates. What's really going on? Because Brian Steele is on the job, honey. Brian Steele is doing his job, honey. Diddy need to pay him overtime. He need to fire Xavier Donaldson and give Brian Steele his salary because Xavier Donaldson ain't doing ish. I hate to say it because he looked like me. I hate to say it, honey, but the truth is the truth. And the facts are what they are. Okay, so 1 minute ago from CNN, Mia, a former assistant for Sean Diddy Combs, is now reviewing a scrapbook that she made for him, honey. Not a scrapbook. Say what, say you? Looking at it, she said, I remember this. It was so nice of me. Mia gave the scrapbook to Combs for his 45th birthday in 2014. Honey, this is after he threw spaghetti, wouldn't let her change her tampon, and then slammed her arm in the door and chased her around the yacht. Because did I tell y'all that he chased that girl around that yacht to the point that she had to try to get back to shore? Only to make, I told you all that, and then only to make her come back. Honey, Diddy is a madman on the loose, okay? Happy 45th birthday, Puff Daddy, in large red letters, followed by a page-long handwritten note. Child, I'd have had a handwritten page note, a long one-page note too. It said, F you, Diddy, you ain't ish, and your day is coming soon. Okay, I'd have left that, I'd have balled it up, threw it at his ass while he's sitting at his office desk with his underwear on, and took off running, honey. Catch me if you can, itch. All right, that's what I'd have told Diddy's arse. Can y'all imagine? Let me tell y'all something. Honey, the inner city press must be all up in the scoop because he hasn't posted. Okay, here we go. That's what I'm talking about, Matthew. Okay, so Matthew says, Steele says, you made this and gave it to Mr. Combs? Mia says, yes. What did you write at the top? Mia says, Puff, sometimes life goes by at a catastrophic speed. I hope on this day, I hope you can sit back and consider. I made this book of articles from 1991 to now. Steele then says, did you mean those words? She says, yes. He said to me, I used to look at the world the way you do. But now I've done everything. But now that I've done everything, it was sad. Steele said, the man you say had ruined your life. Mia says, I can tell you what my therapist has said. Girl, stop telling us about your damn therapist, honey. Are you even in therapy at this point? I have several questions, ma'am. Okay, now what you're not going to do is keep sitting up here, and then every time this man says something that you don't like or goes against something you said or tries to paint a picture, she keeps bringing up her damn therapist. See, are you playing the mental health card, ma'am? You know that's what people do. People who look like her, some of them, look, see, this is her right here. I want y'all to pay attention to something because if you remember, notice that somebody said that she was, notice that Lauren LaRosa said that she was Caucasian. I knew she was Caucasian because my friend told me that upon the break. That's why, as you can see, I changed the silhouette because the first silhouette I had on the last live, if you go back and look, it was of a black woman with long braids. But no, that's her. Now she keeps talking about a therapist. I want y'all to pay attention because we know black people don't go to therapy. Most of us don't anyway. In fact, we hate the word. And there's a stigma, you know, sadly, even though we need to be going, some of us clearly. But she keeps saying, I can tell you what my therapist has said. Well, tell us what your therapist, I would ask her too. I would call her damn bluff. If I was Brian Steele, I would say, yes, please do, ma'am. What did your therapist say? Now, mind you, it doesn't matter what she repeats because it's going to be hearsay and it's not even admissible because, first of all, it's, you know, a third party. You're speaking on something that you were told. So, but anyway, I would just do that just to crack her face. Ma'am, please tell me, do tell, what did your therapist in fact say? Did they explain to you why you would do such? I have several questions, ma'am. Okay, honey, y'all don't want me to get in there. Sheila said, deep down in Maya's heart, she missed Diddy. I don't think she misses Diddy. I just think that something in the milk ain't clean. That's what I think. I'm just saying something just about her story. You know, I really shouldn't say that because I really don't have all the details of her story because remember, we're just getting the remnants of what people, you know, what people are putting out. I'm not actually in the courtroom. So let me just reserve my judgments for later until I get more info. But, you know, according to what my source told me, she is kind of sketchy, perhaps. Allegedly a little sketchy is all I'm saying. Okay, this is all nefarious. Anyway, honey, I'm waiting for the rest of this because this is all getting so juicy. Where is Brian going with this? Okay, so here we go. Steele then says, how could you do this? Mia says, it's called psychological abuse. No one did anything. Steele says, what could be more terrible? AUSA says, objection. The judge says, sustained. Okay, so you're going to sustain that. I wanted to hear the answer to this. Okay, and then she said psychological abuse. I would say, first of all, psychological abuse. Let's talk about that for a second. I would say, ma'am, are you qualified to diagnose yourself or anyone else as psychologically abused? So she's implying that psychological abuse is what would make one do that. Okay. All right. If that's the game you want to play. Okay. I just feel like her story is just a little, I don't know. But nonetheless, Diddy's going down anyway, because like I told y'all, Deontay Nash had a hellified story to tell, and it was very credible to me. Okay, it was very credible to me, and that man didn't want to be there any darn way. Okay. So anyway, let's continue. So now, after the judge sustained the objection by AUSA, then Mia says, there are textbooks out there. It's called an abusive relationship. Steele said, but you are not dating Mr. Combs. Mia said, abusive relationships are not limited to that. There were no streaming documentaries about this. No one flinched at his behavior. Now, see, here's the thing right here. Mel said, yes, Mia's story is just not reliable. Yeah, it's given, you know, I'm not trying to, I'm not here for her story or her answers. So she's being sarcastic, you know, have a little sarcastic undertones. Now, with that all being said, she's sitting up here talking about there's textbooks and stuff. Now, you know what she's making me think? And I wonder if Brian Steele is grasping this, because now she's making me think that she might have sat up there and read a few textbooks on the subject, or talked to Cassie, or listened to the previous expert witness, Dawn Hughes, is her name, Dr. Dawn Hughes, who was the psychologist, the forensic psychologist and whatnot. She may have just listened to some of her stuff and now sitting here trying to repeat it. That's what it sounds like to me. Okay, that's what it sounds like. Now, maybe she didn't do that, but I'm just telling you how it sounds to me. And honey, if I was the defense, yeah, you wouldn't be sitting there just getting smart and cute with me, honey, and just getting away with it, honey, because then I'd really tear into you. But it's Diddy's case, and I want Diddy to lose, so let her cook. Okay, so this 1 minute ago from CNN. Okay, so Mia testified that she made the scrapbook for Sean Diddy Combs after a conversation where he told her, I used to look at the world the way you did, and implied there was nothing left now that he had done, and that he had done everything. She said it was hard to get a birthday present for somebody who has a lot of money, and she thought the book would make him happy. Shut I'd be damn if I don't want to make Diddy's ass happy if he was ruined. Let me tell y'all something. I still don't get it. Okay, maybe it is psychological abuse, whatever you want to call it, Stockholm syndrome, and all of it just mixed together and thrown in a pot and scrambled up and cooked and handed to you on a platter, I guess. But honey, I just can't even fathom it. Somebody threatening my life and doing all the things that she's saying Diddy did to her, and all the things that she said she saw Diddy do, and all the things that other people have said Diddy did as they testified on that stand. Oh, Lord, it's a whole lot. I'm just saying, I would not be trying to do anything nice for Diddy. The only thing I'd be trying to do for Mr. Tootsie Roll is kick him in his Tootsie Roll, okay? And then pimp slap his arse. I really want to fight Diddy, y'all. Lord, I really want to jump on Diddy so bad. Y'all just don't even know. I'm going to tell y'all know what really made it so bad for me? I'm going to say this. Now, this is probably going to sound crazy to y'all, but here's the thing. JB said, LOL Queen, we already know. Okay, listen, so you already know. Listen, here's the thing. You know what really made me just really want to fight Diddy? It was when I saw, I mean, out of all the nefarious things we've heard about Diddy, all the allegations and all that, yeah, that already made me mad as hell enough. Not to mention the whole thing with Tupac. But here's the thing that really made me just want to jump on him. It's when I saw that damn gash. When I showed you all the pictures of that gash on Cassie's damn forehead, right at the tip of her eyebrow. I mean, it looked like somebody took a chunk of meat out of her face. When I saw that, I said, boy, if I could get my hands on Diddy just for 10 minutes with his hands tied behind his back so he can't even fight back. Okay? And then I'm going to need them to put one of those muzzles on his mouth like you do on a dog. Because you know Diddy, he'll bite the hell out you. You know, he's told people that he wants to eat their flesh. Told somebody he would bite their face off. Didn't he tell Lil Rod that I'll bite your face off or some crazy stuff? So, honey, you got to put a muzzle on him and then put his hands behind his back so I can just beat the hell out of him. Okay? It's so crazy, honey. Oh, my goodness. DJ Big Six says, show it again. That picture of Cassie. Oh, honey, I don't want to because it's just going to tick me off even worse. Let me pull up a video for you all and then I'll look for it real quick. So that all being said, Diddy out here paying people $20 to put on free Diddy t-shirts. And they out here wearing them too. They out here wearing them, honey. Get their coins. I know. Do what you got to do. I'm not mad at you. Okay, so let's go to this report for where they were talking about yesterday's testimony. Okay, while I look for that picture. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share.
Talking about sex assault. And she's talking about she was raped by Diddy, sexually assaulted, and multiple occasions, never reported. How do you think all of this landed with the jury?
I actually think her testimony was very, very credible. Keep in mind, she's an employee of Combs. She testified about her work environment, that basically she was living at his home, that there were elements of control. When he wasn't happy, he would take her phone away. And this is all speaking to very specific issues in the charges. And we're getting to this aspect of what's the racketeering activity to establish RICO. They have to establish predicate crimes. Her testimony is furthering that narrative with respect to what's in the indictment, which is forced labor. So we're hearing about her work environment and those elements of control. It also corroborates Cassie Ventura's testimony. We've heard from several witnesses now that they've personally seen that Combs abused Cassie. So that also speaks to the elements of force, fraud, and coercion in sex trafficking. And lastly, she's a witness about what's called prior bad acts, meaning that she's testifying about conduct that shows a pattern by the defendant. That specifically relates to her allegations of sexual assault, that Combs uses his power and influence to coerce women and to abuse women who are in his sphere.
So these women, these employees are under his thumb, they are under his rule, and that speaks to the enterprise?
It speaks to both the enterprise and sex trafficking. Both aspects include this idea that he's this all-powerful being in both the industry, within his organizations. Remember, the indictment says that his organizations, his businesses, are really just fronts for him to conduct criminal activity for his own desires. So that's why her testimony actually speaks to both charges. And it also tends to corroborate Cassie Ventura, where the prosecution's hurdle is to show that she engaged in what's called commercial sex acts, the freak-offs, through force, fraud, or coercion. So that element of control and that pattern exuded over both his employees and his romantic partners is something the prosecution is focused on, and it's relevant to all of the charges at play.
So let's talk about Mia as an employee. She worked for him for 8 years. She never came forward with any of this because she says that he was just too scary of a guy, essentially, and that who would believe her? How could she go up against Sean Combs? She talked about how she was physically abused as well on multiple occasions, how she was forced to work long hours.
Okay, I'm going to call cap on that real quick. And the reason I'm going to call cap on that is because I could see somebody of my skin tone being afraid that Diddy could, have them blackballed, do all these nefarious things or whatever. But somebody who has the complexion for the protection, I've never in the history of living known any of them to be deterred by somebody who looks like Diddy's complexion. Because we already know that those tears, okay, will get you locked the hell up. All right? I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that. Maybe the black women, but anybody that's of a different hue, that's non-black, Yeah, I don't see why they would have had that same concern. That's just me. Now, here's from less than a minute ago from CNN. Defense attorney Brian Steele challenges Mia on why she worked for Sean Diddy Combs so long and did things for him like make a scrapbook for his birthday, even though she said she endured physical, sexual, and emotional abuse for years. First of all, years. Who's putting up with that for years? And I'm sorry, let me tell y'all something. Like I said, I don't believe any white woman on this planet would sit up there and be fearful of a black man doing stuff to them that they wouldn't go straight to the police, to the FBI, or to somebody. Okay? I just don't believe it. Because we all know that the one of the quickest ways to get sympathy and what get everybody in an uproar is to drop a bucket of white women's tears. Okay? So miss me with it. I just don't agree. Now, I could be wrong, but that's where I stand on that. Okay, so then goes on to say, and here's the thing. Let's not forget that she did sue him because she ended up with $200,000. $400,000, I guess, after the fees for the lawyer or whatever else, she ended up with $200,000. So this is my thing. What I keep saying is I don't understand how these people are not afraid to sue these people to take their money, but you're not afraid to call the police and have them lock the hell up when they put hands on you. How does that make sense? You know, because I know that most people love their money, specifically people who are wealthy. They love their money. So I would think that you would feel more endangered if you're trying to go after their money rather than calling the police. So, or why not do both? Honey, I would have reported Diddy's ass a long time ago, honey. Assault, all the other stuff she said, he'd have been locked up. At least I'd have tried. Okay, get him locked up or died trying. That's all I'm saying. Died trying. So anyway, goes on to say that he asked her why she stayed there working for Diddy for all these years after all of this physical, sexual, and emotional abuse for years. She testified that her therapist or her psychology textbook would explain it better, but said in an abusive relationship, there is a cycle of violence. I would say, ma'am, I move to strike, Your Honor. This lady is not an expert in this field. But anyway, I was young and manipulated and eager to survive. I'm unraveling a lot of this now in therapy. Nobody was there to see these things that were happening were wrong. There was nobody around us that ever even flinched about his behavior. I was always in trouble, and I was always just trying to find a way not to be in trouble. Okay. That's what she said. Now, let me see what we have from Inner City Press. Okay, nothing since the judge sustained the objection. Okay, here we go. Now we're cooking with grease. Okay, so 1 minute ago, Steele says, you told Cassie she's a superstar and should get the money. Now she don't remember. See, I want you all to pay attention to something. Y'all notice that I've been telling y'all for days and weeks even that when some of these witnesses are on the stand, the minute they get asked a question that they know damn well they remember, they simply say, oh, I don't remember. I don't recall. I can't recollect. Y'all know that, right? But they remember everything else. Okay? Everything else. So anyway, I just find it interesting is all I'm saying. So she says, yeah, she says, I don't remember that. Steele says, aren't you lying about Mr. Combs' misbehavior? Not calling her a lie, Mr. Steele. How dare you? She says, I have not lied to anyone at all. Steele said, isn't it true? It did not happen as many times as you just said. Uh-oh. Not with the isn't it true. Let me tell y'all something. When these attorneys start talking about isn't it true? Now, y'all heard that impression that I did the other day when I was acting like Perry Mason. I'm telling you, when they start talking about isn't it true that you in fact, when they start saying that, that's when they really about to go in, honey. Okay, that's when you need to catch your bearings, honey, and make sure you're on your toes. Stand firm on what you said, honey. Remember every story and tell no lies, honey, because they will point them out. So then he goes on to say, here it comes. Isn't it true? It did not happen as many times as you just said. Mia says, everything I said in this courtroom is true. Steele says, why did you make him the scrapbook? She says, you could talk to an expert about sexual assault. Steele said, could we hand the scrapbook to the jurors? The judge says, take a brief look for a couple of minutes. Ooh, he wants the jury to see this, honey. This is all getting real juicy. This is all these. Let me tell y'all something. Diddy's team, they have some antics up their sleeve. Okay. They have some antics up their sleeve. I don't think they're gonna be able to get Diddy out, but they darn sure doing a good job at trying, honey. Okay. I give them an A for effort because they're going all in. They are going all in, honey. Brian Steele is doing his thing, honey. Let me tell y'all something. Like I said, y'all, I'm about to start me a darn fund right now. Let me put the Brian Steele fund, honey, just in case anything pops off. Because I promise y'all, I'm going to end up slapping the hell out of Diddy. And I'm going to need his own lawyer to defend me to get my ass off. So I need y'all to start getting ready for it right now. Cookie said, go ahead, Queen Perry Mason. Don't make me laugh. Y'all know I got a cold and I'm trying not to make my throat start hurting. Okay. Look at Pretty Wings. He got her right where he wants her. I can see it, honey. If this was a boxing ring, she's clearly on the ropes, is all I'm saying. She is clearly on the ropes. Now he's ready for the TKO when he comes back, and I'm waiting to see what's next. This is getting all so juicy. Whew. Too bad we're not on the same team this time, Brian Steele, sir. Okay? Because I want y'all asses to lose. Okay, this just in from CNN less than a minute ago. A former assistant to Sean Diddy Combs, who said she was physically and sexually abused by the rapper, said there was a difference between her logic brain and her trauma brain. Do y'all hear this? I mean, she's on the stand diagnosing her own self. Please pay attention. I guess they don't need an expert witness for this. She says, why did you need someone else? Oh, this is what Steele asked her. Why did you need someone else saying that it was wrong of Mr. Combs to make you feel like he would kill you? That's what Steele asked her. She responded saying that she has a logic brain and a trauma brain, and the trauma brain often wins. Y'all hear this? So she got two brains now. She has two brains. So a trauma brain, and let me get this straight, and a logic brain. Okay, all right then. I wonder how many brains I got. But let's keep going because she's cooking. She says, I'm done. Hold on. This is about to get real. Y'all, please pay attention. She said eventually it became normalized and you're just trying to get back to the good. You make excuses for people. I'm a people pleaser. I'm an empath. I'm a rule follower. DJ Big Six says she's a witch. I don't know about that. She says, I just wanted to do my best to make everybody happy all the time. So I tend to take a lot more than normal people. I don't know how to explain that. I don't know if I should apologize for that. I forgive people all the time for things. And isn't it true that you sued Mr. Combs because you couldn't, in fact, forgive him, ma'am? And what did you do with that $200,000? Now, if you forgave him, why did you sue him for cash and coins? Please tell us all. I'm sure the jury wants to hear your reasoning. Is this going to come from your logic brain or your trauma brain, ma'am? Do tell. Honey, they'd have kicked me out of the jury. Kicked me out of the court, honey. The judge would be like, Miss Ahmadiyyah Shakur, I'm sorry, but we're going to have to ask you to leave. You're doing too much. You are doing entirely too much. Paul Bunyan said, hold on, honey. Hold on here. Diddy, where's your witches and demons and warlocks now, honey, to come rescue you, honey? Because you about to go down for the count, honey. I bet he ain't doing no conjuring now, is he? Sitting up there casting demons and all that stuff. Now your arse is going to be sitting up in prison, honey. Them demons ain't even got time for your arse. Okay? Pio Bunyan said, you can't beat victim science. Not victim science. Is that a new thing, honey? Tell me all about it. Anyway, wait for further updates. Let's listen to this. We'll be getting out of here soon because I think they're going to close out the court at 3:30 today. Maybe they'll stay a little longer. I don't know because she's still on the stand. So Charlotte said Trump may pardon him to see if that will get us outside. Child, please. Trump ain't going to pardon Diddy. He is not going to pardon Diddy. I promise you that. And even if he does. First of all, he's not. Okay, because I already told y'all how Diddy was talking trash about Trump. And y'all know Trump does not forget anything. And like I told you, if he did pardon Diddy, it would only be, in my opinion, to get back at James Comey, the former director of the FBI, whose daughter, Maureen Comey, is working for the prosecution. She's like the lead prosecutor on the team. Now that's the only way I can see him doing it, just to get back at an old enemy, honey. But Diddy's now his enemy too. So I don't know. Good luck with that, Diddy. I know you're gonna try everything you can. Kel said, LOL, Queen, your commentary is golden. Thank you, beloved. I appreciate you. Look at Reggie being messy, talking about victim science. Child, that's what I said, honey. Y'all just coming up with phrases. Look at Kicking It with Auntie Leah said, please don't give Trump any ideas, Queen. Honey, you know I'm not trying to. Trump ain't watching my show, honey. If he was watching my show, he would have ducked. Because I said in 2020 that somebody was going to try to take him out. Y'all remember that? And I dreamt it twice. But anyway, let's get back to this video till we get some further updates. Here we go.
Hours under tough circumstances. She would set up the hotel rooms for these freak-offs. She would clean up afterwards. So where do you think Mia stacks up when it's the hierarchy of the witnesses for the government at this point?
So one of the reasons that I found her to be very credible is that she said, I wanted to take this to my grave. I was not planning on coming forward. I ultimately was subpoenaed by the government to speak about my experience with Combs and told my story because I was told to tell the truth, right? So that's where her testimony comes from. And that gives it an air of credibility. She also did not have a romantic relationship with him. So there's going to be a bit less for the defense to attack on cross-examination. That being said, her testimony is relevant for the reasons that we spoke about, this aspect of patterns of control, but we're really not getting into the mechanics and the mechanisms of the criminal enterprise. What is it? So witnesses are supposed to testify about the means and methods, which in essence, in layman's terms, is how it works, what's its goal, what's its function. And she was a witness that I personally, from pre-trial arguments, expected to get into that and to really help the jury formulate what the criminal enterprise actually is, which we have not really heard about so far.
So what is the goal? How is he making money off of any of this?
So it doesn't necessarily have to be financial. Of course, we know that there's other elements of not only the forced labor, which would be monetary, also drugs and distribution of drugs that could be monetary as well. But when a RICO conspiracy charge means that two or more people agree, and Combs has to be one of them, to commit a pattern of racketeering activity, which means crimes in furtherance of the criminal enterprise. So that's the legal standard.
Who's the agreement with?
And that's what we don't know yet. So to me, the one witness who really spoke with the most evidence that would lean towards the RICO charges is Capricorn Clark, because she talked about Uncle Paulie taking her from, taking her and bringing her to a room to conduct a 5-day lie detector test and said, if you don't pass, I'm going to throw you into the.
Okay, is Uncle Paulie deceased? Does anyone know? Did Uncle Paulie pass away? Because what I was going to also say is this lady's absolutely right. Now, unlike that fool that was on earlier on News Nation talking about you don't have to have a criminal enterprise to be caught up in a RICO. Girl, yes, you do. They don't have to prove it's criminal. Yes, they absolutely do. Hold on, let me look up Uncle Paulie, because is he dead? Because pay attention to what she just said. It's the same thing I told you. She said, remember what I told you all earlier? Who was paying attention? I told you all earlier that the people in the criminal organization or the criminal enterprise, they have to agree. Okay, like the mafia, like they know when they get involved with the organization, they're going to be committing nefarious acts, crimes, and all of this. They have to have signed up for it. I said these assistants and other people working with Diddy, even though Diddy had them doing illegal things, these people didn't sign up for that. They didn't realize they were part of a criminal enterprise. Okay, none of them thought that. So what she's saying is right. I have to agree with her. That other lady was sounding real crazy. Okay, now, with that being said, hold on. Hold on. Nobody knows about Uncle Paulie. Hold on. Let me see here. I don't see anything on it. Lord, why are they bringing up Uncle Ron? They talk about Uncle Ron was dead after spilling the tea. Yeah. Rest in peace to Uncle Ron, honey. That was Beyonce and Jay-Z's former bodyguard. Okay. So anyway, Rich said, I heard he was gone the other day. I saw a post online. Okay. I was just wondering. Okay. Okay. So that makes sense. Because I was wondering why he hasn't, why he hasn't been brought forth.
East River. So there's another person who might,
if he was going to have to testify,
be complicit with Combs. Will we hear from him? Will we hear from D-Rock? We keep hearing about a security guard named D-Rock.
He seems like someone everyone loves, though.
Yes, but he's also a security guard who's here for a lot of the nefarious conduct. So will we hear from those witnesses? Will they testify for the prosecution? We don't know, because the witness lists are being released really at the end of the week or just right before witnesses take the stand.
So when we have cross-examination of Mia tomorrow, how do you expect this to go with Brian Steele?
So Brian Steele, it's going to be a fine line to toe. And I say that because you have a victim of sexual assault who really testified explicitly and in graphic, disturbing detail about her experiences with Combs and the sexual abuse that she endured. So it's got to toe that line between getting what you need on the record and undercutting credibility, which is usually done by saying, well, this was a long time ago. Do you remember the details? Are there inconsistent statements? But not shaming that individual. And also there's rules in court about what types of things can come in on cross. For instance, you can't talk about a victim's sexual history. So there's going to be limitations. Now, what I think you're going to see, and I say this because the defense has said it's going to be a full day tomorrow of cross-examination. That's a lot of time. Perhaps we'll see more written communications.
We've seen a lot of that from the defense, essentially.
Exactly. And we know that she's, works for him for 8 years. During that time period, everybody's communicating emails, texts. So will there be something in those communications that the defense will use in the same type of way that they use with Cassie Ventura?
And looking forward, how many more victims do you expect us to hear from?
So as of now, we know that the prosecution intends to call. Cassie Ventura was victim 1. Victim 2 has not been called yet. That's apparently another romantic partner of Combs. Mia was victim 4. So we've heard
number 3.
Number 3 is not coming. No, number 3 is not going to testify. So that is probably a real issue for the prosecution, because the jury will hear less, right? You'll hear from less alleged victims in this case, but we will still hear from victim 2. And from what we know, victim 2 also under a pseudonym, proceeding anonymously, was a romantic relationship with Combs. And I think we're likely to hear the same types of patterns that we did with Cassie Ventura, although the relationship was much shorter. Keep in mind, we always have to go back to the criminal indictment. It's really important to remember what the charges are. One, in the indictment, prosecutors say that Combs lures women into romantic relationships for the purpose of trafficking them, to engage in the commercial sex act. So keep in mind, prosecutors' questions about the romantic relationships, how they began, those elements of control, probably a common pattern that we'll hear again with victim 2.
So was today a win or a loss for the prosecution?
So far, a win for the prosecution. I say that because the defense hasn't gone yet. So we don't know what's to come on cross-examination, but Mia's testimony had a lot of benefits for prosecutors, and she was very, very credible on the stand, emotional, but also very direct in answering the questions. So I think the prosecution had a win today.
All right, Misty Maris, thank you for your insight. We will see you outside of court on.
Okay, so that lady gives some good summaries, in my opinion. Now, thank you, retired federal officer Carol Banks. Says, great job, Professor. Thank you, beloved. I appreciate you. Now, listen, at the end of the day, she gives a good summary of the facts of the case. Specifically, when she talked about Brian Steele, she said she wondered what's in those text messages and how he's going to likely use those the same way they did against Cassie. Well, of course, they're going to do that any chance they get. Now, let me see if we have any further updates. Okay, so let me look over here at CNN and see what they have going on. Okay, so 5 minutes ago, CNN says defense attorney Brian Steele suggested 3 times during his cross-examination of Mia, the former assistant of Sean Diddy Combs, that she made up the sexual assault allegations. Mr. Combs never had unwanted, non-consensual, forcible sexual contact with you. Isn't that true? I told y'all he was going to go in. What I said in the courtroom is true. I have not lied to anyone at all. Now, Brian Steele is going in on her because he's accusing her of lying right to her face and then called her a lie. Honey, that shocked me when he said that. Now, this lady, the one thing she missed is when she said he was going to go easy on her. Clearly, he is going in on her. Okay? So with that all being said, Arjumand said the brain can be altered by trauma in cases of severe or prolonged trauma. These alterations can persist long after the danger has passed, leading to long-term structural and functional changes. Honey, that sounded all so professional. What book did you get that from again? Sir, we know that. We talk about that on the spiritual channel, okay? We talk about, y'all know when we do my little, my lives for everybody, not the one specifically for the members only, because that's where you get all the esoteric knowledge for the most part. But yeah, we talk about that a lot, beloved. But thank you. We know, but my point was you don't have two brains, okay? She wasn't wording it right. Yes, absolutely. Trauma can stay with you, okay? I'm a victim of trauma myself, honey, so I know just as much as everybody. In fact, many Black people are a victim of trauma, passed down through our DNA, okay? But Gwendolyn said, hold on. Gwendolyn said Brian Steele is earning his money, Queen. I know, right? He sure is, honey. He is doing his job. Okay, now from less than a minute ago, okay, from CNN. To create the birthday scrapbook, Mia said she reached out to people at Sean Diddy Combs' companies who handled archives and asked them for copies of articles mentioning the music mogul. She then printed out the articles, highlighted Combs' name, and put them in chronological order in the scrapbook to mark his 45th birthday in 2014. You know, that was thoughtful. That was thoughtful and a kind gesture. But I bet you Diddy's low down self probably didn't even appreciate it. I wouldn't have done half of that for Diddy. Okay? Oh, I'd have given him a box of sugar smacks for his birthday and some honeycombs, because that's what he is. And then I'd have given him some Fruit Loops to go along with it. How about that? Okay? Because that's what it reminds me of. When I think of Diddy, I think of those three brands of cereal. Fruit Loops, honeycombs, and sugar smacks. How about y'all? Okay? And did I forget Fruity Pebbles? That's all I'm saying. And so anyway, Diddy is such a devil. He sat up there and got kicked out of Prince's house. Let's get into it. Hold on, I'm going to go to this little report. It's about 3 minutes long. Okay. The end of the day. Archimond, you had PTSD, beloved? Yeah, and trauma is something else, honey. It can change the whole trajectory of one's life if you're not careful. Okay? It can absolutely do that. Now, let's get into it because we're going to listen to this. They're going to be talking about, and hopefully we'll have some more updates after this. It's almost 3:30. I'm just wondering, are they going to stay in court till 4 o'clock today or what? Okay, I have questions because the queen has things to do. All right? Y'all think y'all going to work me like Kunta Kinte, honey, but y'all got another thing coming. Okay, y'all got another thing coming. I just want to let y'all know, honey.
Meanwhile, some more testimony today focusing on Diddy's alleged violent streak and how Prince's security details stopped an alleged attack on Cassie. TMZ executive producer Charles Ladaboudier joins us now with the very latest. Charles, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Natasha and Bianca.
Okay, so another explosive day of testimony. Tell us about what went down in court today.
Yeah, this testimony today was from a woman who was testifying as under the name Mia. The judge said this is a pseudonym and that no one was to record her. She was, they wanted to keep her anonymity.
Hold on, y'all. Do y'all know I almost passed out? I'm over here multitasking, and I thought I had it on Fox News. And I look up and see James on here. Isn't his name James or Charles? What's his name? Y'all know what I'm talking about from TMZ. I'm like, oh, shish. I got TMZ up here with no darn cover up, no overlay. Okay, but he's on Fox News. Okay, so we're good. Honey, I almost passed out.
It was the deal with the prosecution, but she was talking about, she is a former assistant of Diddy's and talked about a 2010 incident where Diddy and Cassie found out that Prince was having this private house party. Diddy didn't want to go. He was staying home and said that Cassie should not go. But Cassie was at home with Mia, and they talked about it and decided they were going to go. So they went to the party. She says they were having a great time watching Prince perform on a dining room table. And then suddenly she saw Diddy walk in and was terrified. And she grabbed Cassie and she said they ran out of the party. They ran.
Now, hold on. I have to say this because I know everybody's probably thinking it. I want y'all to think about this. Did he just say that Prince, the royal one, okay, the artist formerly known as, was performing atop a dining room table? Now I want y'all to think about this. Sitting there watching Prince perform live on a dining room table. Everybody's around, gathered around. All of a sudden you look up and see Diddy's ass. Now you have to flee the scene like a whole bandit, and you take off running, and Diddy gives chase. Y'all, I'm so mad I can't laugh out loud because y'all know I got cold in my chest, honey. I'm still sick. But what in the hell? And then they had on high heels and was dressed all cute and everything, and then had to run for cover. This is a damn shame. Diddy needs to be sent to prison just for that alone. Okay, he needs to be sent to prison just for that alone, as far as I'm concerned. Now, you sitting up here chasing people around Prince's house? How disrespectful is that? How disrespectful is that? I bet Prince's eyes got twice as big as they normally are. Y'all know Prince had them big, beautiful eyes, honey. Man, Prince looked up. Oh, his eyes probably got big as golf balls. Child, I can't even imagine. But let's continue. Let him cook.
And across the street, they are hiding in a wooded area behind some bushes. But Diddy found them and grabbed Cassie, she said, and started to assault her when suddenly one of Prince's security guards ran over there and had to pull Diddy off of Cassie, separate them. And that was the end of the violence for that particular evening. But the way she described it on the stand, it really sounded like a movie playing out, and you could really see, envision what was happening that night in 2010.
Charles, what's your take on this, though? Because we kind of touched on this yesterday, is that this testimony is absolutely ruining and decimating his character as a violent person, as someone sadistic. But when are we going to get to the part where we're talking about this federal case, this RICO issue here? Like, we keep bringing on these people to terrorize his character, but I don't know if it's helping in the federal case.
One of the counts is, and that particular story I don't think goes toward the RICO count. I think this one is more about Cassie being forced to stay in this relationship, that she was forced to have sexual encounters and that she could not escape. And I think that's what these stories are pointing toward, not so much the RICO.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about, you guys are reporting that reality TV stars Julie and Todd Chrisley are out of prison. They were just pardoned by President Trump after serving 2 years for bank fraud and tax evasion. So what's next for the couple?
What's next is they're going to do what they do best, which is get back in front of cameras. They already have a deal for a reality show, and they gathered today as a family in Nashville, and they are getting ready tomorrow. They're expected to have a news conference where I'm sure they're going to gush and thank President Trump for the pardon, and then talk about their upcoming reality show. I mean, if you're looking for a platform to promote a new show, you couldn't have one bigger than this. And last night, Savannah was posting videos after she picked up her father from his prison in Pensacola, Florida, where he was showing off. Didn't want to show his face, only wanted to show that his arms were ripped.
I was just going to bring that up. I was going to say.
Now I want you all to pay attention to the privilege at work here. Did y'all just hear that? Now that was the Christies. Okay, they used to have a reality TV show. They went to prison, the both of them, for bank fraud. Now I want you all to pay attention. Now, Donald Trump has pardoned them. He has pardoned them. And at the end of the day, they already have reality TV show deals in the makings. Honey, it must be nice to be white. Okay? It must be nice to be white. Okay? Do y'all hear this? Convicted of whole felonies. But here they are being offered reality TV shows, honey. I find it all so interesting, honey. I find it also interesting. Y'all see that? I absolutely cannot, but let's continue.
They're going to have to thank prison because he looks in like pretty good shape. And that's what the tabloids are talking about now.
You know, there are better ways to get in shape than going to prison. Right. You can just join a gym, but I'm glad it worked out for him.
Drop your.
I find that all interesting, honey. Now you let a black person get convicted of that and try to get back. Honey, let me tell you something. They'll be lucky they can get a job at Taco Bell or McDonald's. Mia said they already had a show. I know, that's the first thing I said. They previously had a reality TV show, but guess what? That doesn't mean they should get one back. They're whole convicted felons at this point, honey, for bank fraud. Okay? These are criminals at this point. That's all I'm saying. Let me stop hating on these people because really, I never had a problem with the Christies. Okay, but her husband, I think she's a beard because her husband always seemed like he was on the other side for me, played for the other team. That's just my opinion. But anyway, I digress. What I'm saying is, how do you have, now they fired Kenya Moore. Please pay attention. Okay, Bravo fired Kenya Moore. Okay, after that little stunt she pulled. But these people can get out of a whole prison cell. And before their feet touch ground at their front doors, they're already having offers. Now, they didn't say one offer. Okay, they said offers. S, that's plural. For reality TV shows, oh, well, honey, it must be nice. Okay, anyway, let me stop worrying about those people's business and get back to the business. Let me see here. Okay, Inner City Press, what do you have? Okay, great. We got a couple things from them from 5 minutes ago. Let me see what CNN's working with. Okay, nothing back from CNN yet. Okay, so Inner City Press still says, did you make Mr. Combs a birthday video? Mia says, I put one together. I asked people if they wanted to send in a video. Still says, I want to ask you about last 4 digits. And then he starts reading them out. AUSA says, objection. What is he reading out, honey? The last 4 digits. The judge says, just ask her if she recognized her number. Brian Steele is on the BS. Honey. Let me tell y'all right now, I know what he's up to, honey. He's making her read this stuff herself for further humiliation, honey, just like they did Cassie. Okay, that's what that is. Because he knows darn well he could have just said, do you recognize the numbers like the judge said? But go on, Brian. Rock out, honey. Earn your keep because that's exactly what he's doing. Now, so Mia says, I do. After the judge says, ask her if she recognizes her number. She says, I do. Still then says, let's read these messages. I'll be KK. Lord, didn't I tell y'all he's doing the same thing they did to Cassie? These suckers are slick. Okay, the embarrassment of it all. He told her he'll be KK. Mia said, my life is over. I might as well. Still is KK. Now he says, call me back or I'm calling your parents. Mia says, I'm so sorry. I'm with Laura Gomez. Okay, she said the F word. Now, what's going on with this? What is this exchange that her and KK was having? She said her life is almost over. Okay, so then Steele says, now he's KK, remember. He says, I'm not going to say it. Effing tell you, I'm not going to say it. Effing tell you, you are. And then Maya says, the pain hurts so effing bad. They use a whole lot of F-bombs. But now, mind you, when he is speaking as KK, he's literally saying effing, like I'm saying. Like he's not saying the actual word. He's saying effing. But Mia is actually cursing because that's what she wrote, apparently. So she's reading exactly as she wrote it. So she's literally saying the profanity. He is not, because apparently KK was just saying effing, okay? So anyway, I'm saying effing because I'm on YouTube. Now I really want to curse. Okay, so anyway, the pain hurts so effing bad. That's what Mia said. Then still, he says, who is Laura Gomez? Mia says she was in HR at Combs' Enterprises. Still says, you start with, I'm going to kill myself. My life is over. She says, yes. Uh-oh, where is this going? Where is this going? Is he about to say that she did all this after she got fired or what? What's going on here? Brian, what road are you leading us down? This is starting to get real nefarious. Okay, this is starting to get real nefarious. Okay, so I'm going to the next thing posted on CNN. So this is from 1 minute ago. Defense attorney Brian Steele asked Mia about the birthday video that Judge Aaron Subramanian precluded earlier this afternoon before or from being admitted as evidence. Now, asked if she remembered making a birthday video for Sean Diddy Combs, Mia said that one year she compiled a video of shout outs from many important people in his life, including herself. She said the video told Combs that she loved him in the video, or that she said she probably told Combs that she loved him in the video, but doesn't remember. Mia testified, couldn't remember how many people participated. Now, she reached out to a list of people Combs always wanted at his parties and his family to ask if they wanted to send a shout out and got many videos back. Steele suggested Mia made the video in 2013, but she said she couldn't remember the year. See, the thing is, I'm noticing about some of these witnesses, whenever they're asked things that contradict things that they previously testified to, that's when their memory starts to, that's when they start to forget things. And I just hope they know that the jury is making notes of all this, because I'm pretty sure they are. Okay, so anyway, with that all being said, she said she was going to take herself out, said her life was over. Wonder why she was saying that, because that's what I'm waiting to get to. Okay, it's after 3:30, you guys. I guess we're going to be here till 4. Remember, the judge did say that he would let them leave before 5 o'clock so they can do things that they have to do or whatever. That's right. Miss AP said, or they say, I can't recall. That's right, honey. I can't say that I blame them. Because, honey, if I was up there on the stand and they started asking me something I didn't want to talk about, I'd say the same thing. I would say, not to my recollection. Not to my recollection. I simply don't recall. Because one thing about it, honey, is they can't tell you what the hell you remember and what you don't remember. But if you lie, they can prove that you lied, honey. That's perjury. So that's the best thing to do. I don't remember. As soon as they try to tell me that bull-ish, I say, but isn't it true? Okay, I start right just like Brian Steele did. So Lindell says basically she didn't get the settlement money and now finds herself in court. No, she got the money, beloved. She got the money. She got about $200,000 after she paid her attorneys, because it was $400,000 at first. So she did get the money. Now, this is from Inner City Press. Steele says, you could have quit. She says, I didn't see it that way. Steele says, why? She says, there's a pretty long psychological explanation. I was around them 24 hours a day. This is all I knew. Steele said, why weren't you happy to be served? Or no, why weren't you happy to be severed? Isn't this great? She said, not then. Okay, so he's basically saying she must have got fired. This is what it sounds like, because he said severed. And, why would you be talking about taking yourself out? See, okay, I see what he's doing, honey. Let me just tell y'all something. Let's just talk about it. Hold on. Say what now? Breaking news. Trump just said he would look at the case of partnership. I know you lied. You're telling a damn lie, Sandra. Don't play with me. Sandra, do not play with me. Do not play with me. I'm about to look it up right now. Sandra, if you're lying, you're going to pay for this. Hold on. I know you lying. Will I just be damn? I will just be damn. I want y'all to pay attention. Oh, it's right here. I got the receipts. Thank you, beloved. Girl, I thought you was lying, honey. I said, ain't no way in the hell. Okay, well, let's talk about this, because I want y'all to pay attention. But listen, just remember you heard it here first. I already told y'all why. If Trump does pardon Diddy, why would he do it? Because his enemy, James Comey, the former director of the FBI, and his daughter, Maureen Comey. Trump don't want her ass to win this case, because this is the trial of the century, and this will be a huge notch under her belt and bragging rights for her damn father. And Nicole said also, let's not forget Trump was at the freak offs, allegedly. Honey, this is all nefarious. Hold on, we got to get into this. I'm about to read the article. Oh my goodness. Lord, I think y'all just took me into the spiritual realm for a second. I almost left up out of my soul just left my body. Oh, my soul literally almost left my body. Okay, so let's get into it. This is breaking news. Honey, I am so done. President Trump shockingly said Friday that he would be open to pardoning Sean Diddy Combs, currently on trial in Manhattan for alleged sex trafficking and other crimes. Lord have mercy. Y'all might as well pack up y'all bags, prosecution, and walk on out the damn courtroom. Trump is not going to let y'all win, honey. See, I'm telling you, Trump is so darn vindictive. He is so vindictive. Y'all got my money for the tickets to go to Costa Rica, y'all. Y'all start a collection fund because I got to get up out of here. Y'all, I told y'all, if Diddy ass walks, I got to leave. But anyway, let's continue because here's what it says. Nobody asked, but I know people are thinking about it. I know they're thinking about it. This is what Trump is saying, mind you. He said nobody asked, but I know people are thinking about it. I know they're thinking about it. I think some people have been very close to asking. This is what Trump said during an Oval Office press conference with Elon motherfucking Musk. Combs, age 55, was arrested in September and has been held without bail on federal charges. He says, this is what Trump says, y'all. First of all, I'd look at what's happening, and I haven't been watching it too closely, although it's certainly getting a lot of coverage, she says. I haven't seen him. I haven't spoken to him in years. He used to really like me a lot. But I think when I ran for politics, that relationship busted up from what I read. I don't know. He didn't tell me that, but I'd read some little bit nasty statements. Trump concluded by saying, I would certainly look at the facts. If I think somebody was mistreated, whether they like me or don't like me, it wouldn't have any impact on me. The president has pardoned or commuted the prison sentences of an unusually large number of people since reclaiming power in January, after claiming he was mistreated by the legal system over the past 4 years. Well, ain't this a bitch? I am so damn done. Trump, you ain't fooling me, honey. I know why you do it. I know why you do it. Okay? I know exactly why he do it. But seriously, you guys, here's the thing. I'm going to tell y'all, Trump is not on Diddy's tapes. Let me just tell you all something, because I told you all over a year ago, and I showed you the receipts. Look at Pretty Wings. Can't wait for me to leave time. Pre-pack your bags, Queen. You are so low down, Pretty Wings. And I thought you actually liked me. This is so sad. Look how y'all do. Boy, how they turn on you so quick. Oh, I tell you the truth. But now listen, here's the thing. I told you all like a year and a half ago, remember? That, damn, what was I going to say? I'm sitting here reading the comments and I lost my train of thought. I was about to tell y'all something. What was it? Oh, God. What was the last thing I read? Hold on. It was something to do. What's the last thing I read on here? Hold on. Let me go back to the article. I can't remember. It was something pretty juicy, I think. Anyway, so like I said, I think if Trump does pardon Diddy, it was specific. Oh, this is what I was going to say. Trump, I don't think Trump is on any Diddy tapes. And I'm going to tell you why. Because for one, Diddy said a long time ago, before any of this stuff ever started or came out, when he was friends with Trump, remember Diddy said, I showed you all the video, I showed you the receipts. Diddy said that Trump never stays at his parties late because Trump doesn't drink or smoke. That was the first time that I knew that Trump didn't drink or smoke. And then when I looked it up, he actually doesn't. Trump doesn't drink or smoke. So he likely wasn't at any of those parties, honey. I'm telling y'all why. The reason why Trump would do it is because of what I told you. James Comey. Okay, that's what it is right there. James Comey, the former FBI director. Hold on. Hold on, beloveds. Hold on. You know, Trump fired this man. Remember, Trump fired this man. And isn't James Comey the one that Trump fired right before that man was about to retire and get his darn pension? Trump fired him before he could even get it. Hold on. Oh, wait a minute. And now guess what comes out? Hell to the no. Baby, when I tell y'all the queen is so smart, I want y'all to pay attention on that, honey. I want y'all to pay attention. Remember, you heard it here first, because you know the other YouTubers, the bigger YouTubers will start saying it and get the credit. But I want y'all to pay attention. I'm about to show y'all my receipts, baby. I'm about to show y'all my receipts. Jones said, you heard it here first. You just said that, Queen. Thank you. I've been saying it like weeks ago. I've been telling them this months ago. If Trump pardoned Diddy, it would be because of James Comey and his daughter being against Diddy. But hold on. Now I just found something else out. Hold on. Let me show y'all this. Please pay attention. Trump hates this man way worse than he hates Diddy, because please pay attention to how he said he read a few little statements. See, he minimized what Diddy said about him, because Diddy he called Trump racist or whatever. But this man right here really pissed Trump off. Hold on. Now watch this. Bam. This was from 2 weeks ago. This was from 2 weeks ago. I want y'all to pay attention. Now watch this. This is what it is right here. Now all of a sudden Trump's talking about pardon Diddy. Yeah, here's why. I told y'all.
Tonight after he posted a now deleted photo that Trump.
Hold on. First of all, just let me tell y'all, Trump got this man under investigation right now. Trump is out for the big payback. Okay, please pay attention. He got this damn man under investigation. Hold on.
Former FBI Director James Comey facing an investigation tonight after he posted a now deleted photo that Trump allies say calls for the president's assassination. Gabe Gutierrez is at the White House, and Gabe, the Secret Service is now involved.
Yes, Lester, a law enforcement official confirms James Comey will be interviewed by the Secret Service in person tonight. The agency says it takes rhetoric like this very seriously. While President Trump said today the former FBI director was calling for his assassination and knew it. This is the image Comey shared on social media, what he described as a shell formation on a beach that formed the numbers 8647. Trump allies saying 86 meant not just getting rid of, but assassinating the 47th president. Comey, of course, was fired during Trump's first term and became an outspoken Trump critic. Comey explains he thought it was a political message, not a violent one, adding, quote, "I oppose violence of any kind, so I took the post down." Lester?
Okay, Gabe, thank you. Thanks for watching. Stay on.
Now, y'all saw that? Y'all saw that, right? I'm going to have to make a whole separate video about this now. Maud Idris said Queen would be a good detective. Thank you, beloved. Y'all see this? Now, this was just 2 weeks ago. I didn't even know about this. But I already knew that he had a beef with this man. See, I pay attention to detail, like I keep telling y'all. This is why I be catching everything that other people be missing, because I pay attention. And let's not forget, I'm also very intuitive. Okay, y'all know I have predicted many things. Okay? This damn Trump said he is going to pardon Diddy. Lord have mercy. Hold on. I'm not going to do no whole video. I'm just going to go to the timestamp. Okay? This is all crazy. Wow. Okay. Let me go to the rest of the updates, because apparently court's going to be over with soon, because it's 3:45. Ain't this something? Hold on, let me go back to my CNN updates. Wow, thank you for that, Sandra. I'm through. I am so through. Okay, let's see what they got here. Okay, so the jury's dismissed for the day, beloveds. It's over. It's a wrap. The jury is dismissed for today. Okay, so with that all being said, I'm going to close out the broadcast. I want to thank you all for hanging with the queen, honey. We have fun. I always try to make it fun because, you know, being on here so long, it can get mundane or whatever. So I try to keep y'all laughing or whatever. But Listen, we'll be right back. Now, excuse me, tomorrow is Saturday. I'm not going to be on live tomorrow. I doubt it, because I need to retwist my hair and I have some errands to run and all of that. So I may not be on here tomorrow, even though if I do, I might do something early. I'm not sure. So if you don't see me tomorrow, don't worry. But anyway, I hope you all enjoy your strong end, not your weak end, leaving you in a weakened state of mind. Okay, each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember, beloveds, to keep the Most High first in your lives. Okay, so I love you all to life. And until next time, I will talk to you all again soon. Peace.
Gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen. Why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunta. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations, America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. See a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all in Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threats. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got